Hey guys, welcome to the analysis for February 25th. Today's a Monday, so just jumping back into the market on these daily charts. And for one thing, you can see that the euro with a very nice continuation breaking through the trend line. This is an area that we watch very closely. I personally thought had a lot of potential for a buying zone to bounce and continue upward, but you saw that we didn't get any signs of that. And now a very clear break of 132.50, even a good retest on the day and strong continuation. So one of the things we're going to be looking at today is the euro weakness and what that means as far as potentially how far the euro can go down, and all of the other reversal signs, not just the euro dollar but the euro pound, euro odd, euro yen, all of the euro pairs across the board, and which ones really have good potential for a complete reversal. So that's going to be our main focus today, but we will be covering some other pairs as well. And before we get into that, we're just going to take a quick look at our news and our terms, and we'll get right back into these charts. Alright guys, and as you can see, tomorrow the main pocket of news we have is 10 a.m. Eastern US dollar news, and one of the main things going on, of course, is that Bernanke speaking. And so when that happens, the market tends to react, tends to pay attention to what he says, and if he has some positive things to say about the United States and the economy and the dollar, we could see a very legitimate bounce, which of course could push the euro further. On the other hand, if he's very negative, giving very negative information about the US dollar, we could see serious weakness, and that euro could reverse right back up. So as far as news tomorrow, that US dollar, that pocket of news at 10 a.m. could be very critical for the pair euro dollar to see whether we get that continuation or if it's a reversal. And so that could be a pivotal announcement that you'll definitely want to pay attention to. Other than that, we have earlier pound news and then 5 a.m. news as well. So a few pound news hidden in there also, but definitely the main event is going to be that 10 a.m. and some of the stuff going on there. Alright guys, and then just to quickly cover our terms, basically the point here is that the daily analysis is for educational purposes only, that we're not registered as a securities broker or investment advisors with any financial security or any country security at all. So please understand that it's not to be taken as investment advice. It is just educational purpose, and just a way that we can share our opinion of the market with you. Alright, if you need to read through there, please go ahead and pause the video and do that, and I'm going to move back into our charts. Alright guys, so again, looking at this euro, again, we talk about the hitting up here near 137.50, and just a very steep move, a good reversal here as it's breaking through. And so of course the question we ask ourselves is this going to be a legitimate break, a continuation toward lower prices? Is it going to come all the way down toward 127? Where is the euro headed? Where is it going to go? Well, as far as when you look at it right now, of course there is some support. There's always going to be support in the way it just built and uptrending, and the created lows. Of course, there's some points all along the way, but that's always going to happen. Really, the main thing that I'm looking at is the momentum and the potential that this thing is breaking toward much lower prices. And from what I see, I think there's a lot of momentum here. The break, the retest of 132.50, and the continuation today, to me means that this thing really does want to break toward lower prices. I still would like to see the 38.2 broke, a close below 38.2, and then maybe a target into the 50, which is about 128.70. I think that this is a good zone if it would break here to head toward the next level. And so for me, that's really going to be the way to trade this. Not necessarily to assume that this is a complete reversal, go short now and try to hold out for a massive target. But watch this momentum. If the momentum continues, look to take shorts as it breaks one level and target the next area. And so that might mean that taking a short here and then targeting here, and then if it breaks, taking a short here and targeting here. If it breaks all the way down below 61.8, which is at about 127, taking a short there and maybe targeting the low all the way down at 120. So definitely think that there's a lot of short potential here, but as far as the actual trading goes, I think the best way to handle it is to look at these levels, make clear lines, clear zones, look for solid breaks, and look to take advantage as it shows continuation through those areas. When we look at the pound dollar, you can see kind of a crazy chart as obviously the immense crash happened. We finally broke through and crashed all the way down almost to 150 actually is where it gapped down today more like 155, but gap down and then moved all the way back up to kind of close this gap right near 150, 150. And so we're kind of sitting in a weird area where it's extremely low. You can see that if I scroll back here, it has not been at these low prices in a very long time, going all the way back to 2010. July of 10 is really the last time we saw such low prices. And so to me, there's a few immediate future potential we have. Number one is that it's going to come up and at least retest this area here at 152.85. But also, this could just be a gap close before we actually shoot much lower. And so that's something to keep an eye on as well with the pound dollar. Right now, because of kind of the weirdness of the area and the difficulty to assume what this thing may do next, I'm probably going to wait and not actually take any trades here on this chart for a while and just observe before something sets up, or until something sets up. But I definitely think that there's potential here that this could retest and go lower, or as a matter of fact, this could be the retest here and go lower now. So although we've gone on this kind of rocket straight down, I'm not necessarily convinced that the pound is done moving lower because we broke through such a critical level, and really there's a lot of space for it to move from this point on. And so we'll just watch and see what happens, but could go much lower in my opinion. Okay, next I have this Euro-Yen chart up. Of course, another huge reversal because of the Euro weakness, and so very similar to what I was saying on the Euro dollar. I mean, the reversal is not nearly as steep on the Euro yen because the yen's been weaker than the dollar, but we moved lower and lower and finally had a really nice momentum filled bar. So one area to watch out for here is right around 120, a little lower than that actually. 119 you can see is definitely an area where it could find some support. However, because this is so steep, unlike the euro dollar, there's actually a lot less support on the way down. So a reversal on the euro yen could be very dramatic and very intense, and would definitely be something that I'd be interested in shorting and trying to capture. Again, these levels as it goes, maybe from 117 to 115, 250 pip. Room there from level to level, and then some much larger levels than that actually. Perhaps breaking through the base of 113, or next level really to look at would be 107, which is a huge area. So really a lot of potential between these areas on the euro. If the euro weakness continues and we get the continuation of that euro momentum, the reversal potential on these pairs as it breaks some of these levels is going to be really good. Definitely some pips to be made there. And so I think for the month of March, that'll definitely be something to keep an eye out for, and potentially shorting the euro as it breaks critical levels. Okay, and then I'll just finish up here talking about this euro pound real quick. One thing to look at on the euro pound, obviously another kind of weird chart, as we can see, because of the gap, gapped up toward 88, which is a very high number for the euro pound, has not been there in a long time. But of course, because of the pound strength moving up to fill the gap and the euro weakness today, we got a massive power bar heading back down. But the chart is very weird. I mean, there's no really better way to say it, just because a lot of confusion here, not really moving in any kind of consistent motion. And so right now with the euro pound, the best thing to do is probably just to kind of wait until it moves out of this whole zone here, because it's very difficult to anticipate what it might do, as it's not making consistent moves. It's just gapping and crashing and bouncing and doing a lot of confusing things until it gets out of this zone, whether that means a break down and heading back down toward the 82 area, or a break up and a continuation of the big trend here. Either way, I think that the euro pound is one that I want to wait on and get some clarification before taking trades, because the worst thing to do is trade just out of anxiety and not really having a plan or a reason for trading. And so to me, the euro pound, along with the pound dollar and many of the pound crosses at this point, because of the craziness in the pound, are ones that I just want to sit on the bench for, wait for a while, and then if something develops, try to take advantage at that point. So that's the analysis for today, this Monday. It's the first day of the week, so things often are confusing and a little bit tricky on the first day. Sometimes it's better just to wait, a day or two into the market before looking for trade opportunities. And so maybe tomorrow things will develop, and all of a sudden we'll have a little more clear picture at what's going on. But right now the market's definitely a bit confusing, but the euro reversal potential seems very legitimate. So much euro weakness over the past few weeks, and you can see the euro dollar, how many pips it's covered. And so, if that continues like the euro strength continued, many of us wished, oh man, wish I got long on the euro when the strength started. Who knew that it would continue so much? Could be the same thing, on the opposite side as it heads down. And so I think that's really going to be the theme, as we finish out February and look to March. If that euro weakness continues, we're definitely going to want to be sellers, because there's going to be a lot of good potential there in terms of pips on the reversals back into former areas for the euro. Alright guys, thanks again for watching. Leave a comment or question, and I will talk to you guys tomorrow.